everyone, welcome my friends to Miss DeBoer Reads. Today I'm starting a new book and it's going to take the next several weeks to go to get through it. It's about 4 weeks long because there's 20 chapters inside of this book called The Year of Billy Miller. It's a chapter book. It is a book by Kevin Henkes, which is a beloved author of many of our favorites, including Lily's Purple Plastic Purse, Chrysanthemum, Owen, Wemberly Worried. He's so wonderful, and believe it or not, he's written a chapter book that we get to enjoy. I've been reading it the past few years in my class, and we really dig it. May is around the end of April into May is the perfect time to be reading this book as you're getting ready for second grade. This kiddo, Billy Miller, is heading to second grade, and that's what we're going to read and find out about things that happen at school. You're going to find a lot of connections to this kiddo. I can't wait to share the story. It is a Newbery Medal book. It won the award in 2013 for its prized literature. That means it's a really good book. I think you're going to love The Year of Billy Miller. So I'm taking a sneak peek looking at the cover of the book, The Year of Billy Miller. I'm noticing there is only a little bit of illustration going on, which happens a lot in chapter books. It's mostly filled with words. I can see Kevin Henkes is the author, and this little kiddo's face, which is covered up slightly by this Newbery Honor Award, is Billy Miller's little face. The Year of Billy Miller. I also see his hat flying through the air. That's going to be an important part. So when I look at this is the book jacket. The jacket is like a cover. That's why it's called a book jacket. Get it? So it's like it's wearing a coat. And on the spine, it has the year of Billy Miller and then just the author's last name, Henkes. I'm going to take a look at the back of the jacket. So here's what it says. It was a blustery day. The flag on the nearby pole snapped in the wind. Billy raced ahead of his family, up the steps to the lookout platform. As he stood between the giant's enormous feet, a sudden gust lifted his cap from his head. His cap sailed away. Without thinking, Billy stepped onto the middle rung of the guardrail, leaned over, and reached as far as he could. And then there's an ellipse, meaning something happened after that. And now I'm very curious about what. When you're thinking about him with a giant, I need to really clarify what that is. Billy and his family are on a summertime travel. And as they're traveling in the United States, so I'm going to start right out here. They're in the United States traveling. So here's our state, Michigan. We always know because it looks like a mitten and we're surrounded by our Great Lakes. Billy is actually from Wisconsin. And where they were traveling is they went to the Black Hills in South Dakota. So they must have traveled through Minnesota and went to the Black Hills. That was the goal. And on their way back, they stopped in Minnesota at this statue of a giant. It happens to be the Green Giant, mostly known for his figure on vegetables and cans of vegetables, even frozen vegetables. I'm going to show you the Green Giant in a moment. But one thing I want you to know about Billy and his family is that they live not that far from Lake Michigan. And you might be thinking, wait, that's ours. Oh, we share Lake Michigan. Across the lake is Wisconsin. In fact, when I was young, I had friends in Green Bay, and we actually traveled across Lake Michigan. We got on a ship and we put our car on it too. We were able to go all the way across Lake Michigan and go to Wisconsin to visit friends. So Lake Michigan is right here. We're on this side. We actually get to see the sunsets in the west. They get to see the sunrise in the east. Aha. I think sunsets are better. Just my opinion. So here's where he was traveling, about that Green Giant. So here he is on the package of some vegetables that I have in my freezer. And here's the Green Giant. He's represented, he looks like he's dressed in like asparagus. And there is a real statue, and I'm going to show you the picture of this. This is where it gets really cool, okay? So in a city called Blue Earth, Minnesota is where Billy's family traveled, and they wanted to see this. Sometimes you can travel and there's certain sites that you don't want to miss. And so this was one thing that, that Billy and his family really wanted to see was this real life green giant. And it's a huge statue. And you can see where there's a person right here, and there's that little guardrail. And this perhaps is where Billy was standing when his hat blew off his head. I want to show you this one too. Here's the green giant this is how you get up there. From behind the statue, you can climb up. And if you look around, you can see how tiny things are in comparison, even the trees, to this statue. Now, granted, he's not all the way up at the top, but that is pretty high up off the ground. You'll need to know that as background information. We're building a little schema here. So when we talk about the green giant in the story, you have a really good visual of what that looks like. So the Jolly Green Giant. We've learned a little bit about our character, Billy Miller, but inside of the jacket, I want to tell you, there's more. Things about Billy Miller, because learning about our character, and Billy Miller's the main character in the story, is really important. He's worried about second grade. Maybe you are too. He thinks bats are cool. I'm a huge fan. His little sister is annoying. How many connections are you making right now with some things, right? I have a little sister that was annoying. He had a spectacular accident this summer. Oh, spectacular and accident. I'm not sure I would use those two together, but something happened. He doesn't like poetry much. That reminds me of one reluctant poet named Jack, who really grew to love it. His dad makes really good cookies. I had a dad who baked too. Pies. Ned is his best friend. So we're meeting other characters, like his dad and now Ned. His mom likes rainy days. There's another character in the story, Mom. He thinks Emma Sparks is a pain. I wonder who she is. Maybe a classmate? And why is she a pain? He can run really fast. Cool. This is his year. Thus the title, The Year of Billy Miller. Yeah, let's get into it. I have some teacher notes here for me personally, because I have divided the book into page numbers so I know which section to read. As I said, it's going to take about 20 days to read all of this, so I'll read about 5 chapters a week. The Year of Billy Miller by Kevin Henkes. So there's the title page. There's a dedication page. And it's divided into parts. Part 1, teacher. So we're going to meet Billy's teacher. Part 2, father, Billy's dad, whom he calls Papa. Part 3, sister. Her name is Sal. And part 4, mother. That's the conclusion of the book. It actually follows throughout the entire school year. So we start on part 1, teacher, where it's the first day of school. Let's find out what happens. Hi, friends. We're talking about the year of Billy Miller. And part 1 is titled Teacher. And we're going to find out a lot about Billy through school and from his teacher. That is one of the characters in this section, but I want you to also know we're going to be introduced to Billy's mom, who is a high school teacher, so it's her first day of school also. His dad, that he calls Papa, is an artist, and he actually stays home with his younger sister, Sal. In some families, that's what it looks like. One person might have to stay home with younger siblings. And in this case, and Billy even thinks like, a lot of dads go to work, but not mine. So his dad is an artist that's able to work from home, and that's why he can stay with Billy's younger sister, Sal. As I said, it's the first day of school in 2nd grade. Let's find out what happens. It was the first day of 2nd grade, and Billy Miller was worried. He was worried that he wouldn't be smart enough for school this year. There was a reason he was worried. 2 weeks earlier, on their drive home from visiting Mount Rushmore and the Black Hills of South Dakota. So remember, here they are traveling. We could make this trip too, friends, from Michigan to South Dakota. Yeah, in fact, my mom's from North Dakota. I've driven out there before, many times. But South Dakota is where this is. And they left from Wisconsin. So here they are traveling back. They're going to stop in Minnesota and then get home to Wisconsin. Here's what happened. So he's worried because on their drive back, they stopped in Blue Earth, Minnesota to see the statue of the Jolly Green Giant. I want to show you that again. It's real and true. Parts of this story have bits of truth, like locations and geography and this statue. But the rest of it, Kevin Henkes made up, but maybe similar to people in his life. Do you see how authors do that? So here they are, stopping in Blue Earth, Minnesota to see the statue of the Jolly Green Giant. Billy instantly recognized the giant from the labels of canned and frozen vegetables. The statue was spectacular, so tall, and the greenest green Billy had ever seen. Billy was wearing his new baseball cap that said Black Hills in glossy silver embroidery. It was a blustery day. The flag on the nearby pole snapped in the wind. Billy raced ahead of his family, up the steps to the lookout platform. As he stood between the giant's enormous feet, a sudden gust lifted his cap from his head. His cap sailed away. Without thinking, Billy stepped onto the middle rung of the guardrail, leaned over, and reached as far as he could. He fell to the pavement below. Oh my, remember we knew an accident happened. The next thing Billy remembered was waking up in a hospital. His parents, whom he called Mama and Papa, were with him, as was his 3-year-old sister, Sally, whom everyone called Sal. After the tests were done, the doctors proclaimed Billy miraculously unharmed. That means he wasn't hurt at all, except for a lump on his head. "You fell exactly the right way to protect yourself," the doctor told him. "You're a lucky young man." "And Papa got your hat back," said Sal. When they returned home, Billy proudly showed his lump and his cap to his best friend, Ned. He called his grandmother on the phone and told her about the incident. He told her about the incident too. Everything seemed all right until a few nights later when Billy overheard his parents talking in the kitchen. "I'm worried about him," said Mama. "He's fine," said Papa. "Everyone said he's fine, and he seems fine. He is fine." "You're probably right," said Mama. "But I worry that down the line something will show up. He'll start forgetting things." "He already forgets things," said Papa. "He's a 7-year-old boy." "You know what I mean," said Mama. She paused. "Or he'll be confused at school, or..." That's all Billy heard, so he was eavesdropping, right? He snuck up to his room and closed the door. And that's when he started to worry. Billy didn't tell anyone he was worried. Sometimes he didn't know how to say what he was thinking. He had words in his head, but they didn't always make it to his mouth. This happened often, even before the fall. So this was the night before, and he goes to bed. Here we go. "Happy first day of school," said Mama. "Happy first day of school," said Papa. Billy had noticed long ago that one of his parents often repeated what the other said. Without taking time to sit at the table, Mama rushed about in the kitchen, stealing a few bites of Papa's toast and a gulp of his coffee. She hoisted her big canvas bag onto the counter and reorganized its contents. It was Mama's first day of school, too. She taught English at the high school down the street. While Billy was eating his pancakes, Papa reread aloud the letter that Miss Silver, the second grade teacher, had sent during the summer. It's kind of like what Collins does. We send you guys letters before you arrive to tell us a little bit about ourselves. In the letter, Miss Silver greeted the students and said she was looking forward to a new school year. She said that she and her husband had a baby boy at home and 2 dogs. She said that second grade would be a safe, happy year of growth and a wonderful, joyful, exciting challenge. Billy stopped chewing when he heard the word challenge. He put down his fork and touched the lump on his head. He didn't want a challenge. Papa continued, Miss Silver says you'll be studying colors and habitats and the world of names. That sounds like fun, said Mama. My students will be studying Beowulf and Paradise Lost. These are teenage type books for high schoolers. I'd rather be in second grade, said Papa, smiling. Unlike the other fathers Billy knew, Papa stayed home and took care of Sal and the house. Papa was an artist. He was waiting for a breakthrough. That's what he always said. Whoopsie. He was currently working on big sculptures made of found objects. He does a lot with reuse of materials. It's pretty cool. Pieces of old machines, tree limbs, and broken furniture filled the garage and spilled out onto the driveway. They were scattered across the yard, too. Billy loved watching Papa work. There was always something lying around that was fun to play with. Gotta go, said Mama. She kissed Papa on his bushy orange beard. She kissed Billy on his lump. Have a fantastic day, she said, and kiss Sal for me when she wakes up. Just like that, Mama was gone, the smell of her lemony shampoo hanging in the air for a moment. Papa cleared his throat and shook Miss Silver's letter with a flourish. Billy could tell he was trying to be funny. In a deep, rumbly voice, he said, This utterly fascinating letter concludes by stating that currently this is, in fact, according to the Chinese, the year of the rabbit. Papa used his regular voice again. That's pretty great, don't you think? The year of the rabbit? Do you guys know what this means? Do you remember when we studied our Chinese zodiac and we figured out that my friends in class that were born in 2012, you're a dragon, and my friends in 2013, that's the year of the snake? Because there's 12 animals in that Chinese zodiac that rotate. So every 12 years, it's a new animal. This year happens to be the year of the rabbit. So I'm wondering if maybe it was 2011 when Kevin Henkes wrote this book. Maybe that was the year of inspiration. So it's the year of the rabbit. Billy shrugged. Normally, this would have interested him, but he was preoccupied. Maybe you'll have carrots for a snack every day, said Papa. Silence. Papa, said Billy. But Papa, will I be smart enough for second grade? Of course you will, said Papa. He was looking right at Billy, directly into his eyes. Right? Isn't this what Billy's worried about? That's why he wasn't being silly about the year of the rabbit. He's worried. Yeah. Billy glanced down at what was left of his pancake. With his thick, work-gnarled finger, Papa lifted Billy's chin. Their eyes met and held. Miss Silver and the great nation of China might think that this is the year of the rabbit, said Papa, but I know, and I know everything, that this is the year of Billy Miller. Billy smiled. He couldn't not. He repeated Papa's words in his head. This is the year of Billy Miller.